Welcome to Q&Ace and welcome to New Stripe City. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. This is a new episode of Q&Ace that we're doing today. I wanted to stop through and invite you guys through to the stream. I'm streaming on a new platform. I'm checking out how this is going. I'm going to go ahead and share the stream link in here. I'm going to invite some guests in as well. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can drop this into the message box. Bear with me. I'm looking here to see if we have the chat and everything going on. What's going on, y'all? I'm going to go ahead and drop this link in here. That's the link that you guys can join with, and you can ask me any kind of questions that you guys have. So we're checking out this new thing. It's called Melon. I'm going to try this out, see what it has to offer. But yeah, we're going ahead and getting things going here. And let's see. There we go. We'll take that off there. Just wanted to know what you guys' thoughts are. Feel free to throw some questions in the chat for sure. I would love to have you guys join me on here. It's been pretty much week one, or not week one, but the end of OTAs. I don't know. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But the Bengals have started OTAs. We got mini camp left. They're probably going to start getting into that. But I just want to see where your questions are coming from. What do you guys have for me tonight? I would love to have you guys on here. I'm going to go ahead and show this on the stream. This is the link that you can go ahead and use to join. Shout out to my man JJ Money. He says, "Who they Ace? Who they all day?" Michael Beers says, "Who they?" Remy Jones says that we need a real defensive coordinator. So if you guys would like, I would like to get Q&A kicked off a little bit earlier today. I actually was on the road, just got back home. Would love to talk about any kind of questions or anything that you guys have. As you know, this is Q&Ace. I do answer you guys' questions, but I love to also have you guys on as well. So bear with me as we're trying this new layout out. Just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a test with it. Looking to see if any of you guys jump in. That would be pretty dope. But I guess to talk about things where we're really at, this team has a lot of question marks really going into this season. They made several changes on the defense. Someone is talking about the defensive side of things. What's up? What's up, The Natural? And what's up, Tay Santana? A lot of people have questions about the defense. I do also have questions about the defense because I think that that's the thing that nobody's really talking about. I think there were a lot of changes there. Shout out to my man, David Miner. What's up, bro? Shout out to my man, Coach Hype Man. So I'm really interested to see what they do because they talked about Trey Hendrickson. He talked about dropping into coverage and stuff like that. So I'm very curious to see what exactly the game plan is going to be on defense and how they're going to use these guys. And obviously it seems that Lou wants to use different schemes from week to week, kind of wants to take that Patriots approach. And I'm really interested to see how that plays out. So we'll see. But I got my first join other night, my man Hunter. Hunter, what's going on, bro? Hunter, can you hear me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Hunter, we can hear you, bro. You there, bro? All right. We're gonna let Hunter get situated.
Damn.
Yeah, we can hear you, Hunter. I don't know if you want to ask a question or not. You still there?
What's up, baby?
No, not much.
All right, so we're gonna take Hunter off for now. Hopefully, we can get Hunter back on. Would love to get some guys in here, but if you hit that little link in the bottom right corner, that does allow you to come on. You can ask any kind of question you want. I'm gonna see if we got Hunter back here real quick. Hunter, you still there? You still there, Hunter? Can you hear us? All right, looks like you still there, Hunter? All right, I don't even think Hunter realizes that we're on here right now. So If anybody else wants to jump on, please be sure to hit that link in the bottom right corner. I'm gonna get back to some of these questions that we have here. I thought Hunter was joining us, so let's see. Let's see. All right, looks like we got that highlighted. Appreciate that, guys. YouTube needs a like button on the live chat for sure. Truly appreciate that. My man Hank Kershaw, appreciate the super chat for $10. Appreciate that, bro. He says positive about our run D. My biggest worry is at cornerback. I think I can see why. Because we don't necessarily, and I've talked about this before, but we don't necessarily have a number one corner per se, right? Like we have a bunch of guys that could probably be number twos, but we don't have a number one. I think the depth at corner is actually pretty solid. I think that the run defense, I'm positive about the defensive linemen. I'm not positive about the linebackers. Like I think that they need to get some names in there to add to the depth in terms of what they have in that linebacker room. I think Logan Wilson is good. I think Akeem Davis-Gaither is good. Jermaine Pratt, but you guys have watched them cut the tape on when we looked at it. They didn't really get many snaps last year. So with that being said, I think that they need to get some more linebackers in there that would make me feel more comfortable about the run defense, because when you look at it, there were some issues last year in that Browns game with the linebackers. If you go back and look at the cut the tape on that I have on that, you'll see that those linebackers did struggle against the run, especially you talk about Nick Chubb and some of those guys. They definitely struggle with that. So I actually am somewhat wondering. I'm not worried about it, but I still have to see what they're going to do against the run from the linebacking position. I think that the defensive line will be better, but we'll have to see what happens there. We got another one here from my man Nolan Thomas. Ace, how do you think Joseph Asai will be used? More of a true defensive end behind Hubbard and Hendrickson, or more of a LB on passing and blitz downs? I think that's a great point you make there, Nolan. I think that he will actually be used kind of more as like what Carl Lawson was supposed to be. And I think Carl Lawson, his initial role was he came in on passing downs, but I also think that he'll be able to drop in coverage as well. And I think that they'll use him, like you said, as more of a linebacker on passing and blitzing downs, but I think that he'll also be able to drop back in coverage, being that he's a former middle linebacker. So I think that they'll use him in a bunch of different ways. Let's see. Shout out to my man Seth Metcalf. He says that you should be proud of yourself. All love, Ace. Thanks for what you do for us. No problem, man. Someone else asked Morgan Moses, my man Bill Bolin, sign him, yes or no? I would hope that they do, but it seems that they probably are comfortable with what they have. But I like to see them do that, but I don't know what the price really is for him. My man Terrell just came in. I'm going to go ahead and pull him up on the screen. Terrell, what's going on, bro? Chilling, bro. How you doing?
Oh, hold on. What's up, bro?
Chilling, bro. You got the Cardis on?
Yeah, man. I'm at a little barbecue cookout, man.
Nah, I appreciate you for stopping by, man, even though you got the barbecue going right now.
Yeah, we about to leave. I'm just chilling. I just got, but I meant to tell you, man, I was over at Kiss Me though, man, when I was down there.
Oh man, I didn't know you were down here.
Yeah.
Yosemite is it's a little bit far from me, but I could have got to you, man. We could have linked up.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say, man, I think everything is a systems to go, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little OG with me, man, and we just was bumping heads talking about the Bengals, and he told me about the offensive line. I told him, man, the young guns, man, that we got though, man, they got a lot of potential, man. Those three guys, man, they got a lot of potential. I told him, Devontae Smith. I told him, I said, man, that's Shaq on the
Smith,
yeah. I said that's Shaq on the offensive line, man. I said, man, he gonna tear him up, man. I said, man, watch out for the dude from Georgia. kick some ass, man. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man.
hell.
And Mike, and you see Hopkins moving out there, man.
Yeah.
Come
Hopkins
on,
already
man.
out there getting back to trying to get
I,
out there.
I'm just saying, man. He don't be surprised if Billy Price be don't find on cuts, man. That's all I'm saying, man.
Hey, you might be on to something. We'll see. I think Price though, for what it's worth, I think he played really well with Frank Pollard back in the day. I think he'll at least have, some kind of spot on this line. But
All right,
but
then,
yeah, it is
y'all.
possible that his backup could make some moves. But I think Billy will be able to make the roster. I think.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man, but I'm just saying, man, he fighting for his NFL life, man. That's how I feel. I
Facts,
mean,
facts.
John Ross is right now, and like I said, man, P. Ryan was last year, and that's all I'm trying to say though. But man, I'm still iffy on the Trey Waynes thing, man. I know we looking for a corner next year, man, for sure.
Right,
I say we looking for a tight end next year.
right.
Um, oh yeah, another question. OG told me though, he was like, man, how you feel about the linebackers? I said, Logan Wilson, man, I'm looking for him to just grow up, and I'm not saying he Luke Kuechly or nothing, but I'm saying he could be Blake what's his name, Blake
Blake
Martinez or something like that.
Martinez.
You know what
Nah,
I
I'm
mean?
with
Something
you.
like
Yeah, if he could
and
if he could just be a solid linebacker for us, I'm with you on that.
hey you remember Trent Cole?
Yeah.
Man, that's who Daisy play. That's who Daisy remind me of, man.
Okay. I feel you.
And more upside though.
Trent Cole, well, he played at UC, right?
Yeah, but he did good with the Eagles though.
Yeah, he did. He did his thing. I think I think my vice principal, I think she knew Trent Cole or something like that. I think she had his jersey and stuff. He was like 58 or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
Definitely, man. But I just feel like, man, Burrow. I feel like he tough as nails. We got. I just feel like he gonna do what he gotta do. But Mixon, I just feel like this is time, man. This is time to be on the auction line of Kamara and McCaffrey. I feel like he got it. He could do it.
Right. Nah, I'm with you. Nah, I feel you, bro. I'm with you on that. I think I'm with all of that, honestly.
And I and this is the last thing I was gonna say, man. Um, y'all, it's I understand. I understand. Everybody putting so much eggs in Frank Pollock basket. I understand. He the man. We all know he the man.
Right.
But we acting like he LeBron coming over to Cleveland and turning around.
Nah, I'm with
I
you. I
mean,
mean, he's a
I
great
mean, don't
coach,
get me
but
wrong though, and don't get me wrong though. He gonna do it though. He gonna do
right.
it.
Yeah, I think he'll be good, but I think if you're expecting this team to do something similar to what Cleveland did last year, I think you're sadly mistaken. But if he can get them to like the 20th, I think like 20th. If he did 17th, that would be a miracle in my opinion with the guys that they have now. But I think my
Uh,
expectation is for him to have them finish at least like 20th in the league compared to where they were last year because I think they were like anywhere from 28 to 32 depending on who you talk to about the offensive line. So I think taking a baby step to get them to 20th, I think would be a big step forward for them, and then they could just build on that and get
yeah,
more reinforcements next year.
man. But last thing, man, at least you don't got to worry about these cicadas, man.
For real,
And
bro. I seen they going crazy up there.
I think they're gonna be 8 and 9, and
Hmm.
next year maybe deep in the playoffs. And I'm gonna leave you with that, man. And who they, man, and keep doing your thing, man.
Who they, Surreal? Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna see if my man Hunter. Hunter, you got everything situated, bro?
Oh, hello.
Hey, what's up, Hunter? We can hear you. Can you hear us? Hunter, you still there? Can you hear us? right, we tried to get Hunter in, man. It looks like it's messing up there for him. I'm gonna put this back up here on the screen for anybody else that wants to join. I would love to have gotten Hunter back in. I've talked to him before in the past. I would love for him to come back on here. But I got another question from X Zords X. Would you trade Auden Tate for a future draft pick to Atlanta? Nah, at this point, no. I think Auden Tate is still going to have a role with us as the fourth receiver. And then you don't really know what you have behind that. I think you got Trent Taylor. But I think, Auden Tate himself is a very valuable person to have. Outside of that, I got Coach Hype Man here have I ever been to the locker room or had any exclusive areas? I have not. But that's not to say that couldn't happen. We're not in the city, but if I do end up there with Zim or something, maybe we'll see what we can work out. The Bengals PR team, they're really good. I enjoy working with them, the relationship that we have with them. But no, I have not been into the locker room or any exclusive areas. I think Zim has been to some exclusive areas when he went up there for the jersey reveal and stuff like that, him, Yaz, and all of those that were there. So, we'll see. We'll have to see. There might be something coming. Let's see. Evan Dillon, who they ace, how much do you see Moss producing? I think we just need to be like, we just, at the end of the day, this is Moss's first year. I think if he catches 2 to 3 touchdowns, I think that you're happy with that. And then you see what you can build onto the next season. Eric McDay, love you on AFC North Talk. I'm a Steelers fan. What do you honestly think the record will be for your record will be in the division and overall? Appreciate that, Eric. I would probably say right now I'm looking at 7-10. If they could get to that, maybe 8. I'm hovering between 7 to 9 wins, but I'm really thinking about 7 because that's how I think that they can build on that. I think I look at what Kyler Murray did his first year. I don't know if it was his first or second year. He was like 6-10 or something like that. I think they build on this. If they can get to 9, I think that it's like by a surprise where if they get on a hot streak and win some games because of Burrow, I think it can happen. But right now I'm looking for 7-10. I think that that's doable. I think that that's something that they can build on going into the next season because I think this season is going to be kind of a stepping stone for them to move up and they'll, be somewhat in the run. But then I think next season is when they really take that step in order to really come out as one of the good teams in the AFC. I got my man Hank here in the house. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Hank, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, Zim? I mean, Ace, sorry.
Nah, all good. It happens all the time. I'm doing good, bro. How you doing?
Doing real good. So I think we're going to win at least 10 games this year.
10 games. What makes you think we're going to win 10 games? Not asking hysterically. I just want to know why you feel like
okay, because think about all the players that we lost from last season due to injuries. We get all those guys back. There have been a bunch of improvements all over the field. Also, think about all the close games we lost where we were within a score. Right. Now all this extra talent is going to be able to put it over the top. Plus, the improved D is going to give our offense more plays. We can't be any worse than we were last year. So,
no, I agree with you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead. You can respond. It's fine.
No. I was saying you were making some great points there. I mean, I think just off the top of my head, I think there were 6 to 7 games that were one-score games that the Bengals, honestly could have won last year. Not to mention the other ones that they won without Joe Burrow. You talk about 2 wins without Joe Burrow, and then you add about 6 to that, 7. You're easily at 9 to 10 wins. And like you said, a lot of those guys were going last year. You talk about Trey Waynes not even playing a snap. Not to say that he's a shutdown corner or anything, but at some weeks the Bengals were down to practice squad guys, so he's definitely better than that. And then you talk about DJ Reader as well. I mean, the run defense was not in day as soon as he got hurt. He's honestly was their number one free agency pickup of last season. And you also talk about some of the guys that got hurt. T. Higgins got hurt at one point. So, as you stated, Joe Mixon, that's another huge one. All of these guys are going to be back. The only thing, though, is you gotta account for the injuries that might happen next year. And so if they do stay healthy, and I'm with you, we gotta stay healthy, man. That's always been the Bengals' problem. Really, the last 3 to 4 years has been health. Those, and not only staying healthy, but those key guys being healthy. That's always hurt us. Whether it was AJ Green, whether it was Joe Mixon, whether it's these guys that we need, especially offensive line, they got killed last year and decimated with injuries, especially at that guard position, that allowed Joe Burrow to get hurt last year. So I'm with you, Hunter. If they can stay healthy, this team on paper could win 10 games. I don't think that is far-fetched. A lot of people that don't watch the Bengals, they probably will say that. And no, we're not being homers. Watch the games from last year if you have a chance. Like, they were in a lot of those games. San Diego game, they should have won. One of the Browns games they should have won, possibly two. I'm not going to go that far, but you could at least say that they should have won one Browns game definitively. You talk about the Eagles game, that's one that they should have won. You talk about the Colts game. Like, there's a lot of games that they should have won last year, and I hope I didn't call them San Diego, but Los Angeles Chargers, that's the first one. So for me, I totally get where you're coming from, because there were a lot of games where now that Joe Burrow's not a rookie anymore, he's not going to make those rookie mistakes. And hopefully now that our coaching staff has had a full, I guess this will be their third year that they're going into, they should be able to have some better game plans. I really honestly feel like the only teams that severely outplayed us, the Baltimore Ravens both times. I don't think that we had a chance of winning those games. But the funny thing about it is that first Ravens game, it wasn't out of hand. Like, we just couldn't do anything against them. Lamar struggled in that first game when you really go back to it. And from what I heard, I think he might have lost one of his childhood friends that day, but he really played bad. Like, the defense did not capitalize on any of those, should have been interceptions. And I don't want to be the shoulda, woulda, coulda guy, but like, these were like dropped interceptions, like thrown right to the defenders, and they're just dropping them, right? And so that game, I don't say it would be a win, but it could have been a lot closer of a game than it really should have been if it wasn't for that blitz and stuff like that. So, I'm with you. If Burrow comes out hot, right, and they are able to avoid the injury bug, and they're able to, and that's the one thing that I have to give Zach Taylor credit for, is he got better, week to week as a coach. There were certain things at first when the pitchforks were out, he wasn't running the ball. He wasn't doing certain things. Even the defense, right? The defense wasn't stopping anybody. And then, that last stretch of games, they started to come together, minus the Ravens game where they got completely murdered. But the coaching staff really came together there at the end. I mean, he gets a huge win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. No one expected that to be a win, me included. Like, before that game, there's no way that I could have told you that the Bengals were going to beat the Steelers or anything like that. So I'm with you. I could see it. You always see teams get hot and come out of nowhere. We saw it last year with the Buffalo Bills. I'm not saying that the Bengals are going to win 13 games or 12 games or anything like that. But I think that the floor right now is most people are expecting the Bengals to win 4 or 5 games, right? And I don't think that this is a 4 and 5 win team. No. Like, when you look at it, like, Joe Burrow, better offensive line, running back it's Joe Mixon, wide receivers, you have all kind of options there. On defense, you still have Jesse Bates. You didn't get much from your defensive line last year. I think that this defensive line at least can get more than 17 sacks. So, and then you're probably going to get possibly more turnovers. So it all depends. It really all depends where the chips land. And there's other things that happen too. Like, you talk about, other teams with injuries, right? You never know what's going to happen there. Like, you look at the Chiefs game right now, and it's like, the Bengals probably might not be able to win that. But what if Pat Mahomes is injured, right? Like, you're going against Chad Henne. That now becomes a winnable game. So it can go either way. I understand why you would feel that way, because, like you said, there were a lot of injuries on this team last year, and there were a lot of games that they were in. So, I'm not myself going to go all the way over to that now because I kind of want to wait and see, but I'm not going to shun that as a potential outcome for this team.
Well, I think also if you look at the NFL is so much parity. There's so many close games that are decided in the fourth quarter, and T. Higgins is going to be a top 10 wide receiver. He's the way that he's improved his game in all aspects during the offseason. Jamar Chase is eventually going to be a top 10 wide receiver, if not this year, by next year for sure. They the top 10 guys in the league. And you've got those weapons. Then also CJ Uzama and then Joe Mixon being healthy. I think he's going to even have a better year than his 1,100 yard seasons. So, because you can still get Burrow can still get 300 yards a game, and Mixon can get his 25 touches. It doesn't have to be like one or the other because the defense is going to play better. Whether they're up to the standards that we want them to be, they're going to be better than last year. So the offense is going to get more plays. And you give Zach, this is going to be a test to Zach. He's going to get more plays. He's got all these weapons. Let's see what he does with it. But I'm very high on the offense, and I've been saying Burrow's going to get 5,000 yards. Sure, some games we might be coming back in, where we might be behind, but he was kind of doing that last year before he got hurt. So I don't see any reason. And over a 17-game season, that translates out to 5,000 yards. And I just think that Burrow has the it factor, and he can get it done for us, drive us down the field to win some of these games that we've been losing the last, couple seasons.
No, I think Burrow definitely has the it factor. I think, like you said, I think Jamar Chase has top 10 potential. I think right now with him, not playing last year in college, I think that he's going to have to get accustomed to the NFL and how those things happen. But we saw what T. Higgins did last year as a rookie, and I think, like you said, he may even ascend to another level, which is crazy to think because this is a guy that almost ended up as a 1,000-yard receiver last year. Really didn't even play in the first game and a half almost, because it seems that he had a hamstring injury that I had no idea, and I don't think we had any idea that he was dealing with, which may be why he missed that first game. So I don't know if I could say T. Higgins is going to be top 10 yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of the season he did finish top 10 in receiving next year, because I would think that would be 1,100, 1,200 yards. So if he is able to do that, I think that he could potentially hit that. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the receivers have the potential. Like if you hit on Higgins and Chase, both of them do have top 10 wide receiver potential. So that would be insane to have two guys that are just there. And then, Tyler Boyd's no slouch either. I feel like he's the odd guy that always gets left out. But Tyler Boyd is probably, top 3 in the NFL in terms of slot receivers. Not outside receivers, but slot receivers. I think, Tyler Boyd has to be in that discussion when you're talking about that.
He'll get us 100 receptions and over 1,000 yards. So, guaranteed. If he's healthy, at least 100 receptions. That's only 6 receptions a game. And it's just he's not going to get the big plays that Higgins and Chase are going to be getting. So he's not going to really be getting the 30, 40-yard receptions. So that he won't get as many yards, but he'll contribute by getting us first downs and those clutch catches that we need in the slot. So and then Mixon, what he's going to do out of the backfield, I can easily see him getting 60 receptions out of the backfield. And then, Uzama, if he can step up to that next level, then look out. Our offense is going to blow the doors off a lot of defenses.
Yeah, I think Uzama is the guy to really watch, because when I went back and did the cut the tape on with Joe Burrow week 1, you just saw him going to Uzama a lot, and I think that he's going to be a key piece in the offense moving forward. That's going to be a great connection for those two guys to have. Obviously, they rehabbed together. But Hank, was there anything that you wanted to share before you get out of here? Where are you joining us from?
South Carolina.
Dope, nice, bro. I like the
yeah. I'm the one that always does the super chats.
Oh, appreciate you, bro. I figured it was you. I was like, this has to be Hank. Yeah, appreciate that, bro.
For real, man.
Appreciate the support.
Hey, I'm gonna help these all these YouTube channels. I Strawberry Ice, I help him out, and anything to get you guys going, because Cincinnati just doesn't have enough sports talk. Like 3 hours a day. Down in Clemson, we get 13 hours a day of sports talk, Monday through Friday, and it's like 3 hours a day. So you guys are filling in the void, because they're not giving people the content they need. They're not giving Bengals fans the content they need. So you guys are a necessity.
No, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you listen to the content and that we're able to fill that void, because I'm with you, bro. That was the whole reason I started this YouTube channel. Was I got on here so many times and there was nothing on here outside of a few guys on here doing bingo stuff, mostly games and stuff like that. And it was just like, come on, we got to have some more content out here, because I know we have diehard fans. So, and that's another reason why I like doing Q&A, so people can actually see the Bengals do have diehard fans, and we are passionate about this team, because a lot of people look at what's going on with us not showing up to the games and stuff like that over the years, and they're like, "Oh, the Bengals don't have fans," and I'm like, "No, bro, we have diehard fans. There's no way, that we don't have fans, especially with how passionate we are about this game and how well we want this team to do." But Hank, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Who that?
Good. Yeah, have a good one. Awesome job, Ace.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. All right, that was my man Hank, big supporter of the show, friend of the show. We truly appreciate everything that he does for New Stripe City and all of the ones out there. If you're not following sports with Strawberry Ice, please be sure to go and subscribe to his channel. He does great work over there. Bengals, Reds, Bearcats, all kind of stuff. I finally got my super chat here from my man Hunter Morris. He tried to join us earlier, but he was able to send it in via super chat. I believe that this is him. What are your expectations for the defensive line? My expectations are, I think that they'll get more than 17 sacks this year. I think that Khalid Kareem, a lot of people are sleeping on him. Don't sleep on him. I think year two, again, like I said, I really want to go back and cut the tape on him as well. But he was in the backfield a lot. I keep saying this. I feel like a broken record, but go back and watch some of those games. Look at where number 90 is out on the field. He was there a bunch of times. He just couldn't, he just didn't finish. He probably was adjusting to the speed of the game. I think that he's going to be a big X factor. I think that he could potentially, if I had to put a number on it, I think that he could end up with 5 to 7 sacks this year. I really do. I truly, honestly do. And I think that he'll be the one to surprise out of all of them. I think Hendrickson will be good as well. I think Hubbard will be solid. He will put up some solid numbers. I also think Asai will wreak some havoc off of that edge. And the Bengals just have to find that elite rusher. And maybe it's on the roster. You also got Cam Sample as well. I think that they'll be trying to try some guys and throw some guys in there and try to get some pressure on the ball. They even talk about using Hendrickson at the D tackle position. So we'll have to see. Really excited about Shelvin and DJ Reader. I think that those guys can really do some things. Renell Wren, interested to see what he can do. Obviously, me and Zim had him on the show a few weeks back. If you haven't watched that, please be sure to check that out. But honestly, I think that the defensive line is going to be the most intriguing. And I think we've talked about the defensive line for several seasons now. But I do think that they're in a position now that fits within the scheme that Lou is trying to run. So we'll have to see how they go. But I keep saying this, man. Keep an eye on Khalid Kareem. I really, honestly, truly, and I'm not just saying that because, he's a friend of the show or anything like that. I like this guy before, I even interviewed him. Watching his highlights from Notre Dame, this guy can put it together. He's got a great build. I think that he's got a great combination of athleticism and strength. And he's also been working out this season heavy. And he was playing last year, I believe, at some point with an injury. So this guy was like in the backfield against Lamar. He almost had him a couple of times. And, I look at somebody, and I would text him back and forth last year, and I'd be like, man, it's a matter of time before it's coming. And he reached out to me, and he was like, he spoke it into existence. He was like, I'm going to get a sack this game. He ended up getting a sack that game. So, his mindset is great, and I think that he's really going to be a guy that can come through and make some plays and surprise some people next year. So we got another one here from my man Alex. What are your thoughts on Tate? Will he even play? What will be his role? Yeah, I think Tate's playing. I think that the Bengals, you have to read between the lines. They took Jamar Chase and they never took another receiver after that. And I think I also heard, if I'm not mistaken, Zach Taylor talking. He mentioned Tate immediately as that fourth guy. So I think that they know Tate got upset last year and was, requesting a trade early on. I think that he knows that he's going to have a role going forward, and I think that he's going to get plenty of snaps because there's not that logjam at the receiver position that there was last year. You talk about, there being John Ross, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, then Auden Tate. Like, there were so many receivers, Mike Thomas, like, they couldn't really fit him in. And I think that now that he's clearly the fourth best receiver, I think that you'll see a lot of them in there. But I'm going to bring my man A-Mac in real quick. He just popped in, so we'll go ahead and bring him on. Houday, what's up, brother?
What it do, baby? What's cracking, dog?
Chilling, bro. I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
It's good to hear. I'm doing all right, man. Just out here, trying to get back accustomed to being out in the world.
Hey,
it's all getting settled in. But
is that your mask for the virus? I guess you just walk out with that on, huh?
you already know, man. It's lit, man. You know what? It's crazy. My mother-in-law got me and my wife one, and ever since then, ain't nobody, like, everybody's been asking where you get them. I don't even know, man. This as far as I know, these are two of a kind. I ain't never seen nothing else like it, man.
Facts. That's fire, though.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. That's my little man right there. But so I was coming on, man. I was just trying to, like, get your gauge. I think I missed it a little bit early, so forgive me if I'm repeating some things. But what do you feel like? How steady are you on this? What's your temperature on the coaching staff right now? Like, the situation. What do you feel like? How do you feel everybody's positioned right now?
I think right now, like, just based off of last year, I think even though we heard things come out, I think it's pretty clear that this team is standing behind the coaching staff. They never quit on them. They believe in the plan. They do believe that this coaching staff can do some things. Jesse Bates bought into the defensive side of the ball. When guys were questioning the defensive side, guys like Jesse Bates, bought in, and Jesse Bates had his best season of his career last season. So I think you have to really look at it for what it is. They had a ton of injuries last season. They really grew last year. I look at it and you see how they ended the year minus the Ravens game where that was just painful to watch on defense. I just still look at the sample size of what they did in that stretch after they lost Joe Burrow when things were really looking bad for this team. And I think that they stood up, and I think that commanded a lot of respect in the locker room. And I also think with them moving on from a lot of Marvin's guys, now that these are Lou's guys in here and these are Zach Taylor guys, I think that now that transition of that message getting through will be a lot easier for these guys versus the guys that were used to the Mike Zimmers of the world, the Hugh Jacksons of the world, and not really wanting to let that go, where it's like, Hugh and Zim aren't walking through that door anymore. You know what I mean? So right now, I'm in a wait and see mode to see what they can do. I'm not gonna hate on them or anything. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of those guys, and a lot of people didn't want to say it, a lot of those guys didn't really fit Lou Anarumo's scheme. I'm not trying to throw him some bail or anything like that, but, like, you could have somebody like Darrelle Revis, right? And I remember seeing this happen in Tampa because my boys down here are Tampa fans and everything. Number one corner in the game, right? They grabbed him and they put him in the Tampa 2 defense, and he was horrible. He looked garbage. This is the guy that was the number one corner in the NFL, and because he didn't fit the scheme, he looked completely garbage. And I mean, we saw Carlos Dunlap dropping back into coverage. That's just not him.
That's not
it's
it.
Just, it's just not
I think
him.
I think that like that was part of my critique of the coach of any coaches. Is like whether you're gonna let your ego coach more so than you conforming your stuff to what you have.
Right.
Like, to me, I feel like they felt like they had so much liberty to where it's like, you're going to do it my way or you're going to get out of here without even having to worry about job security or things like that. And that's how you got situations like Jim Turner making the entire offensive line room hate him because he just felt that, yo, my guy Zach brought me here because I'm his guy, so I'm just cool. And it's like,
right.
you weren't willing to acknowledge that your things weren't working out for the best of the entire room. You putting this rook, like that whole move putting Mike Jordan in a disadvantaged position just because he was the only one that would listen to you. And
Right.
now, and it ends up, I'm like that, but what I'm afraid of is well, like you said, what gives me confidence is how the defense gelled together towards the end of that time last year. The only thing that makes me nervous about it is that he even has that mindset in the first place. It's like when you tell Carl Lawson, hey, don't use all your rush moves because whatever, and I'm like,
Right.
To me, that's letting your ego coach more so than you making sure that this team is the best that it is with what it has. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where I get a little bit iffy with it, man.
No,
But,
you bring up a great point because I got frustrated on the live stream last year seeing that because it was more about egos than about winning at one point. And you can't let it get to that point where, like you said, certain coaches and Zach Taylor did this last season. He gets Joe Burrow, who really, quiet as Cap, really wasn't a perfect fit for his system. So what did he do? He took plays from the LSU offense that catered to Joe Burrow's strengths and brought him into this. And now they
what I'm
fully
talking about.
converted to that offense. I think you got to do the same thing on defense. Like, play to the players' strengths and what they do. And who knows? I think that they'll probably do that. Hopefully Lou learned that lesson last season. But it scares me when I hear guys like Trey Hendrickson saying, I'm going to line up at D tackle and drop in the coverage. Like, that does scare me.
That's what I'm saying. And like, if you look at why the Ravens are able to take a quarterback like Lamar, who would have been overlooked in the past, is because they were willing to say, look, we are going to pick you and do what you do best. I don't care what anybody else say. Damn the conventional wisdom, all that stuff. I'm about to make this defense a powerhouse for you. Right. Or this offense, my bad. This offense a powerhouse for you. You know what I mean? Didn't worry about what he, obviously you want your players to grow and naturally things like that. But for the most part, you drafted them for what you saw them do. You know what I mean? What you saw them be successful at, and you want them to continue to do that. But again, I mean, it goes back to, like you said, these weren't Anarumo's guys. They were those guys. I just wish that he would have did a little bit more to make, because there's no reason that it's okay if you say, look, I think it's best we guard separates because we got different play styles, but it ain't got to go down like that, like you did with Carlos. It ain't got to go down like that with Los. You know what I mean? It don't have to be that way. You don't have to have, it's just those type of things leave a bad taste in my mouth. But I think this year, I'm like, there's no excuses now. Like you said, you got all your guys. Most of the money in free agency for the last 2 years has been spent on your side of the ball. Right. If you don't I'm expecting a top tier defense, like close to top 10.
But the one thing that I will say though is, and I'm not trying to be a Lou apologist or anything, they did spend money in free agency on that side, but they have not drafted top, what is this, 2 years in a row that the top two picks are going to offense, which rightfully so, they needed to, but, he hasn't really had his chance to draft a guy like a Jesse Bates that can have that impact on your defense. Like, now he is, now maybe it's next season, maybe he gets to pick that corner or that edge rusher. And to be honest with you, this year, I don't think those guys were in this draft. I don't think that the way that the draft fell, that edge rusher was really there staring you in your face. And maybe it's Khalil Kareem. Like, maybe Khalil Kareem, turns it on. Maybe Joseph Asai turns it on, and they're able to use those guys to do it. But he just never – and I don't know what kind of corners he wants, but it seems that he's looking for corners that can get interceptions and make turnovers. And, that's not really William Jackson III.
It wasn't, but it could be Darius Phillips.
It could be.
Anyways.
Hey, that's a valid point.
But no, man, I'm hoping Trey Waynes. Like I said, the things that give me hope about it, we didn't get to see DJ Reader the whole way through. We get DJ Reader and we get Josh Tupou back, which I don't know. I really like Josh Tupou. Maybe I'm in a minority here, but I think he can make a real difference. After seeing that open field tackle he made on Lamar Jackson, I ain't seen a lineman not get shook by Lamar Jackson in my entire time watching him. And this man tackles him in the open field. I'm like, yo, they got to be worth something, man. At the very least, man, get a dude an extra 1 year just for that, But yeah, man. But thank you for your time, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna get out of here. I just want to let you know, man. I said it in the super chat last week, man. The appreciators far outweigh the haters, man. Like no matter what, we appreciate everything you do here, man. Every little thing that adding the amount you guys have added to this fan base and all of that stuff, man. It can't be understated. Just so no matter what, man, like, you know, the people say let your haters fuel you, but I believe you are what you eat. So let your appreciators fuel you, man. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I'll leave you with a who day all day, every day, and especially on Sunday, man. Stay up.
Appreciate that, A-Mac. Who day? So that was my man A-Mac, just came in. We're going to go ahead and close it on that note. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please be sure to like the video. Please be sure to share the video. We got cool things like merch and all kind of stuff in the description if you're into that. We're also being sponsored now by Midwest Best Barbecue. That is the barbecue sauce that you see there. Head on in there, get you some brisket fries, get you some G-Funk wings, all kind of stuff that they have there. If you're into barbecue, they're located in Loveland, Ohio. They also have ice cream as well, so be sure to check that out. And they just came out with some new flavored wings, the Aloha wings. Be sure to check that out. And then also, I will be making several trips to Paul Brown Stadium this season, so please be sure to check that out. But as usual, this is Ace Boogie. This is Q&Ace, and as usual, I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.
Here comes Bosa. Here comes the quarterback, Burrow. Looking for a block, and he got it up in the front by Hopkins into the end zone. Touchdown!
Fakes, throwing to the end zone, wide open is Higgins for the Cincinnati touchdown.
There's the sneak. Burrow gets low, driving towards the goal line. He's inside the